Hey everybody, welcome to the Creepo Depot. Woo, we're back. Everything's working. The new YouTube is up. We're using a SoundCloud now. It's all fancy. Hey, so instead of like doing the usual thing where we have like a theme, we're just gonna chill out and just talk about whatever is going on, what we're thinking about, what we want to discuss. With me today, we got that one guy who was on the robot show. We got Aftab.
Hello.
And joining us from last time, we have Will again.
Yeah.
So, like, is there anything you guys just want to kind of like start us off with, or just? Oh, okay. Oh, Will's
Doom.
All right. So, Will, let's talk about Doom. I literally, on the way over here, like, Will was like already gushing about it, and I was like, "Brah, we need some stuff for the show." So, I hope you don't mind repeating some of the stuff you said.
Yeah.
So what was it? The Doom Eternal?
Yep, Doom Eternal's gameplay was, well, as of recording, it was the day before, so it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And at like 9 o'clock in the morning, which I actually got up to go and watch.
You got up in your little pajamas. You got your cereal. You woke up your sister. You're like, sister, it's time for the show. And then she got her cereal, and you sat down, and Doom Guy came on screen.
Well, she wasn't up at the time, so I just showed her the gameplay afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, over at QuakeCon, they had their keynote address. Ugh. And we're showing off three different gameplay segments of Doom Eternal. And well, the first thing to say is they took 2016 and they made 2016 look bad just from demos.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
But people love 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you compared 2016 to Eternal's current gameplay, and it's just so much more fluid and so much more crazy. So I guess I should probably go with what they gave you in terms of fluidity.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Okay.
Because I actually don't. I only saw the one clip where like Doom guys walking around and everyone's like, "Oh my God, that dick, the dick."
Okay,
I mean,
so
from what I know is like Doom 2016 took everything we loved about Doom and kind of modernized it, but kept everything we loved about Doom. So
Yeah.
if they're making that look bad.
So first biggest change is they made the levels a lot more wide open and vertical. There's a lot less corridors compared to 2016. Second thing is they gave the super shotgun a grappling hook.
Ooh.
So you can pull yourself to enemies and shotgun them in the face. You can also use like Kaku demons and stuff as little launching points.
Oh, that's cool.
It's beautiful.
Can you use the grappling hook to like get to higher areas? Like if you see like an enemy's like up on like a second level, you can just, oh, that's cool.
You can just grab onto something. You still have your double jump. They also gave you dashes.
Oh.
So you can dash on the ground, you can dash in the air to reposition.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you're playing Trickster from
Oh.
Devil May Cry
Oh, boy.
in Doom, and it's amazing. It's like it's
Wait.
like someone at id or Bethesda played one of Terminus S13's mods.
Oh,
Like,
I was about to bring up. So wait, is it like High Noon Drifter?
yeah, it's kind of like High Noon Drifter or like Demon Steel. So it's almost like someone played one of those and went, "We should just put this in our game."
Yeah, that's a nifty concept you got there.
Yeah. But also there's gonna be player invasions, so it's like Dank Souls. So you
That's your favorite thing, right?
and
You gotta go and dank soul everybody.
maybe I'll do it with a Doom meme name, because I mean in the demo they had people invade and one was named Daisy and the other one was named Doot, and the Doot was a Revenant because
Oh my goodness.
What else did they do in Eternal? There's new demons. They showed us at least concept art for the new demons, which are pretty cool. I mean, there's one really like baller-looking one where it's which is a demon with a super shotgun that also has a axe that looks like Doom Guy's sword.
Ooh.
The Arch Vial is back because you can't.
Oh
have...
no, here comes Flame Boy.
Yeah, it's Flame Boy.
So when you invade someone, do you become that one that has a super shotgun as well? Or?
No, well, I don't know if you can probably play as that one or not. They
I hope that.
At least the only two invaders they showed were a Mancubus and a Revenant, so you can play as one of the higher ranked demons. I'm not sure if they're going to let you be, the really cool one.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they would be. I mean, if they're like making the parallels to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like when you're like playing Halo 2 and you're playing as the elites, and you're like, I guess this kind of works. I kind of wish I could be a drone instead, so I can fly around and get killed in 2 shots.
What else was there in Eternal's demo that like just made us all super excited? Oh, he's got instead of throwing grenades like you did in the old game or in 2016, you now have a shoulder cannon that just launches the grenades for you.
So like in the old game, he would just like physically lob it or something.
Yeah.
And
in
it was
this
like,
one, in what they showed, it was just the cannon pops on screen, shoots the grenade, and then leaves
that's
in
kinda
the middle of still doing like firefight stuff. So.
Was like the grenade just like not that popular to use in the original, or just like too slow? Or
when I played 2016, I kind of forgot about the grenades. I stuck with just using the guns and melee combat because it worked.
Yeah, because you just rush and
Yeah.
Did you ever see that one video of that guy who couldn't play Doom 2016?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. It was painful.
Yeah, I know. I didn't play it myself, but I had a Let's Player who was really enjoying 2016 and always forgot about grenades. They were like non-existent.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad because 2016 did have some interesting concept for grenades. It's just it never really
like the grenades were you had infinite grenades, right? They were just on a cooldown.
Yeah.
And you got different types, like your standard fragmentation, a health steal grenade, which is really fun looking.
Yeah, they had the health steal, and then they had I think another one that pulled things to you, but. Again, when doing a glory kill on an enemy just gives you the health back anyway, it was kind of pointless. The shoulder cannon is also a flamethrower from what they showed us. The plasma gun's back to looking like it did in the original games,
which I'm sure like a lot of people will be happy about.
Oh yeah.
How is the reception currently? Like from what you've seen, like everyone's positive, everyone's hunky dory.
From what I've seen, mostly it's been either really excited or people telling other people who aren't excited to shut up and still enjoy it. The Doom community is kind of really happy about this.
That's good.
Mostly because I think part of the reason is because we're not waiting however many years between another, entry.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you had Doom 2 to Doom 3, and that was several years. And then from Doom 3 to 2016, well...
Yeah.
I think people are just happy that, hey, they're actually making new Doom games that aren't, like, mods for the old ones.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about Doom VR.
Was VFR that bad?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm just saying, like...
I think he just doesn't want to talk about it because he doesn't know anything about it.
Probably. I really don't.
Let's just go check my Tumblr feed, see if like someone's posted another thing about Doom.
No! If we're going that route, I'll just go and talk about Smash Brothers now, because...
Yeah, let's just go talk about Smash.
Yeah! You guys, I know you saw the trailers, but did you just watch the Direct Tab? Or?
I actually never watched Directs.
Okay, so did you just watch the trailers and stuff?
I'm actually just going off hearsay of what people are telling me, but I'm excited for Rathalos. Speaking of which, I have stuff to say about that, but on other topics.
Yeah. Well, you get. Yeah, Rathalos is now a assist trophy as well as a boss for a stage, which is odd because like they just say, "Hey, Rathalos is a boss on a stage," and they like show like this. Is it Ancient Steeple from? Is it
4?
Yeah,
Ultimate.
Yeah, 4 is. It's based on Ancient Steeple, but it like looks really boring. Like it's clearly Ancient Steeple, but
wait,
like
do you mean the Ancestral Step?
Ancestral Step, yeah, that's what it's called.
Ancient Steeple.
See, that's why I was like, what is that place called from 4? It's based off of that. It's clear the level is based off of that, but like it's very flat and boring. And I was like, I'm guessing actually they're hinting at an adventure mode. And that's not actually a Monster Hunter stage, but I wouldn't be surprised if like a Prowler got in, or if they're physically trying to show each other stuff on a phone.
Oh goodness.
But yeah. I'm thinking that they're adding a story mode or something, or at least an adventure mode, since they have on their menu they have a little area that's blurred out that we don't know what it says. And also, it would just be kind of weird to just have a Monster Hunter level and just make it really flat and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, especially, like, 4, because 4 was, like, about the verticality of the whole thing.
Yeah, that's when they gave us mounting and climbing and
Yeah.
well, climbing actually doing something besides, hey, there's a bullfango at the top.
Have fun.
Yeah.
And then you get to the top and you get knocked off and you go.
Why?
And then Generations came out. Like, we did verticality better, and then everything was flat.
Yeah. Well, that's just because, like, they were just trying to change up maps that were, like, pretty flat to begin with and give them some verticality. Like, 4 was built from the ground up to have that verticality.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it was just... So Rathalos is in the game. So do you think they're going to put Prowler, or do you think they're just going to put, like, a flat-out just Monster Hunter guy? Just a Monster Hunter in there.
You know, I hope they do. I could go for either. I could go for Palico. I could go for, like, a full-on Hunter. That'd be really neat. I'm not sure how they do it.
Well, I mean, they did it for Infinite, so...
They did do it for Infinite, but they also, like, limited them to, what, like, 4 weapons?
Yeah, and I feel like if you're... That's why I think Prowler would probably work a little bit better, because...
Yeah, you don't have as much to, like, needing to shoehorn in there.
Yeah, and plus, like, it's a little more wacky, and Smash Brothers is known for...
Wackiness.
Yeah, it's wacky silliness. Plus, like, it's just easier to deal with. Though, it would be really cool to be just a hunter, and just, like, have different skins be the...
Oh, yeah, using an actual hunter, though? Because, I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, I was just saying that, yeah. Where were you?
Doom.
But yeah, I don't know. I think a Prowler would work probably a lot better than...
Yeah, if they had a Palico. Well, I mean, assist trophy Palico, maybe.
Yeah, but it's just kind of weird that they would put Rathalos in the game and have a...
Not have a rep.
Yeah, not have a rep. So I'm assuming that they're either going to put one in or just not. But that'd be kind of weird.
It'd be really hilarious if, like, the Monster Hunter Stories Rathalos was the rep. And the playable.
It's just a smaller Rathalos with its little cartoony eyes.
Cute.
That'd be great, though. It fits the wacky theme, and you're just like, well, why is Rathalos in the game if there's no Monster Hunter? Well, you see, Rathalos is the rep.
So you win either way.
You're right.
But as for the actual reps, I was actually surprised that we were getting not one but 2 Castlevania characters. And at first I was like, I don't know who Richter is. I don't really Castlevania that much, so...
Well, you don't need to worry about background music.
Yeah, no, I'll still slap my own background music in the background. Yeah, I didn't know who Richter was, and then it said Rondo of Blood, and
Symphony of the Night.
Well, the thing is about Rondo of Blood is that I didn't know that Rondo of Blood was an actual game, and I didn't know Rondo was a word. And our friend Nathan was very passionate about the fact that I didn't know that Rondo was a word.
It's a musical term, yeah.
Yeah. So I go and... So he's gonna probably... so Nathan will probably go and play a lot of Richter just to go and rub it in my face that I didn't know what Rondo was. But yeah, did you see any trailer for, do you guys see any footage of, what do you guys think of the new Castlevania characters?
You know, I'm kind of just happy they're in the game, but, like, I don't really know, like, how I feel. I'm a little conflicted just because Konami.
I'm a little confused between Richter and Simon because, at least as I was understanding how Echo Fighters worked, it was, they're basically these are the clones of the character. Like, are we actually gonna... They never said if they're gonna, like, keep their properties. Because now Richter has an almost, not entirely different, but has a very different moveset compared to what they showed for Simon.
Well, that's the same with, like, Pit and Dark Pit. Like,
Yeah.
Dark Pit has, like, the electro side smash instead, and Lucina is not so much about spacing as Marth is and stuff like that. So... They have the same moveset, it's just that you would play them differently, where Marth is about, like, keeping your space so that way you keep your pokes in. Lucina's about, like, just hitting them at all.
Okay, well, I mean, because Richter's got, like I said, he's got the, I didn't say, but, like, Richter's got the whole slide thing, he's got the backflip.
Yeah, the only thing is...
His items work differently in the 2 games, so...
Yeah, but... Yeah. But, like I said, Dark Pit does have, like, different attacks that have different properties as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what... And plus, we don't really know, we haven't, no one sat down and...
Actually played it.
Yeah, so we don't know if, like, Is your headphones not working?
I have them on backwards.
Oh. So we don't know if Simon's not going to get that backslide as well or something like that.
True.
So we just really need to wait for someone to like go in depth with both. I'm just surprised they got both. Because I was just like, oh wow, because like Capcom got Mega Man and then that was just it for a long time, and then later they got Ryu, and then Sega's only had Sonic currently.
I mean, they got we have Zero now as an assist trophy.
Yeah, that was.
I
Yeah.
kind of want X though, but that's just me.
There might be an X color for Mega Man,
I mean, yeah, but I want to play as X.
but also all the Mega Men show up in the
Final Smash.
Final Smash, yeah.
Along with now Bass and
yeah.
Proto Man. So I'm like, oh, does this mean Proto Man's not going to be playable?
Wah, wah.
Oh, Proto Man be playable.
There are no heroes left in Men.
Yeah. But at least we got like Dark Samo. Wait, did you play the Prime games?
Yeah, I know Dark Samus.
Yeah, you're happy that she's there?
Yeah. I was just like bringing up because like earlier, like I was talking about Dark Samus and SAX and how they're kind of the same character, but one is like a radiation abomination and the other is just a colony of parasites.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did she float in like Prime or something, or?
You know, I never beat it, so I don't know.
I mean, Prime 2 is a hard game, so.
It is.
You have to work with that like umbrella mechanic, right? Where you have to like.
I never played the Prime 2, so I would not.
Does anybody know anything about anything?
I know about Doom.
I can go back to talking about Rathalos because there's more to talk about on him in the regards of he is now a Final Fantasy XIV boss.
Yeah, I guess we'll just drop K-roll for a while. Yeah, you can go, Tom. How's that going along?
So, this fight is very much so it's not your standard Final Fantasy XIV fight, and the players.
So what is a standard Final Fantasy XIV fight? Because I've never played that game and I have no idea what a standard fight is.
Right. So like in your standard Final Fantasy XIV things, most big boss AOEs and attacks are telegraphed with markers on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh, I shouldn't stand there. But this fight is all body language, much like any Monster Hunter fight would be. And
Yeah,
there's
it should
been,
be.
like, maybe 3 of those in the entirety of all of Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn, Heavensward, and Stormblood, the expansions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the 3 fights that they do just the body language on are pretty much the same fight.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Final Fantasy players can't deal with this. They don't know how. And the ones that do are the kind of people who are like, you need to be 20 levels higher than this content for me to want you in my party.
It's true.
And I'm sitting here going like, with my 27 clears of this fight with like actual people 2 level, but like every time I try it takes me like half a day of searching to find a party who knows what to do, or half a day of teaching a party what to do. And I'm sitting there always going, why won't they dodge?
He's clearly going, and you're like, oh, I should stand right in front of his face.
Yeah, and like there's no head break in the Final Fantasy XIV fight, so there's no reason to stand in front of it.
Wait, you can't knock him out?
No.
No.
It's a MMO. It's not Monster Hunter logic. There is a tail break, but it doesn't
Oh,
actually
so you
break
get
the tail.
tail.
But it doesn't actually break the tail.
Okay.
Yeah, it just does like a large portion of damage to the Rathalos' health bar, which you can see, which I'm a little disappointed of, but you know, it's a Final Fantasy fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still follows most
So
Monster
it does.
Hunter logic.
So he has a health bar. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. But it still follows Monster Hunter logic, and it's really hilarious to see people's first reaction to, we died 3 times. What happened? Why is the raid starting over?
That's funny.
Yeah, because 3 deaths is...
Yeah, and
Well, in the extreme version, or the harder difficulty, 3 deaths is 3 cards, your quest is over.
yeah.
You even get a little cutscene where the Rathalos just kind of looks at you and it says quest failed.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's beautiful.
Like, look, I'm not perfect. I get hit by the Rathalos sometimes too. It just happens. Wombo combos happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a thing with Monster Hunter.
And sometimes they'll just like tail smack 2 people into a corner and then charge into them and they both die. And there go 2 of your deaths at the beginning of the fight.
And you're just like, oh, good.
But you know, the funny thing is, this works in reverse. I've seen so many posts about how many people in Monster Hunter World are failing the Behemoth because of the Final Fantasy mechanics in that fight.
Wait, it's got, like, markers and everything?
No, it has aggro, it has the meteor from Labyrinth of the Ancient. So,
Wait, so you mean that joke comment I made on the trailer for it was correct?
yes, because if you're not standing behind the comet drop when the meteor drops, you die instantly, regardless of health.
Yeah, I heard
because
about
it's
that.
like the Final Fantasy fight. So like this is working both ways. We have a bunch of monster player people who can't deal with Final Fantasy mechanics, and a bunch of Final Fantasy people who can't deal with Monster Hunter mechanics. And I'm sitting here like one of the few people who's played both, and I'm like, this isn't that hard.
Oh my god! I okay. So for context, one of our friends shared the trailer for the Behemoth fight in Monster Hunter World on Facebook, and I wrote a joke comment that just described the fight in the raid in 14, where it's, oh yeah, most people are overgeared for this anyway, so all you got to do is all you got to worry about is just damaging him and making sure to hide behind the comet whenever he casts Meteor. Without even knowing, because this was before it was even out, that's what they were gonna do. Oh my god.
Yeah, I heard a couple people like online were complaining about like the meteor attack. It's like, oh, I bet you died to the meteor attack, didn't you? That's why you were just mad. So the only thing about this crossover I just really hate is I was trying to talk to a coworker about Smash. And, like, he's, like, telling me about, oh, you know, I'm playing Monster Hunter World, and it's a lot of fun. They have the fun... So he says, so speaking of Square, so they have... so Monster Hunter should be in Smash Bros. I was like, wait, what? And he was just like, well, you know, Square has the Monster Hunter and Monster Hunter Behemoth thing for... But I was like, Capcom made Monster Hunter,
yeah.
not Square... And then he was just telling me some terrible ideas. After, what's the name of... Is there like some type of hunter in Monster Hunter World? He has like a bunch of armor on and he like hits the final monster like really hard and he's like being all agile and shit.
Did you talk about the Huntmaster?
I think you're talking about the Huntsman, who's like really hilarious. Because the thing about Monster Hunter World is there's a bunch of characters in the game making fun of people who didn't like the new systems. Mm-hmm. The admiral of the entire fleet, the Forge Master, complains about how he doesn't use the slinger, and he's like, I can throw my own dang paintballs and dung bombs.
Yeah.
Because, like, people didn't like the slinger, and then there's, like, the Huntsman, who's, like, this amazing, badass longsword user, but, like, he obstinately used... The thing is, they invented a new system of armor that doesn't use Blade Master and Gunner armor. It's just all one armor now.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is the new system of armor. And the Huntsman is just like, I ain't giving up my armor, no way, no how. And he's like still using Blade Master armor, and he refuses to not use Blade Master armor.
No, listen, man, you gotta get that sharpness +1.
You gotta get that sharpness +1. He's dressed like a clown, and he's gonna get that sharpness +1.
Yeah, so it's like, it's pretty great that they just have like these. And it's always the Smith, the Forge guy who's complaining about all these people.
That's
because
funny.
like I guess like the Smiths invented all this new technology, so they're just like, these people don't want to use it.
Well, that's how it always is with technology. It's like, I don't want to go and do that. These kids these days and they're slingers. But that same coworker was just like, yeah, I don't know what the name of that guy was in Monster Hunter World. Like, he was wearing like a suit of armor and he was all agile and shit. And I don't know his name, but he should be in Smash Brothers. And I was like, why don't you just put like a Prowler or a Hunter in the game? I just want
a player hunter.
Yeah, and he was just like, no, I don't know what that character's name was, but he was cool. And I was just like, yes, let's just put in a character who you don't even know his name.
Very convincing argument.
Yeah, and also it's for a game that's not even on a Nintendo console. But yeah, but
the next thing you'll know, they'll be asking for Kiryu from Yakuza.
Yeah.
He should be in Tekken. I mean, what?
He should be.
Yeah, I could see him in Tekken. I mean, they're putting the Negan guy, right?
Yeah.
So wait, I don't really know that series that well. So he like just like has a bat and is like really aggro and stuff or something?
I don't know Walking Dead as well.
Yeah.
But like, from what I've heard about Negan, is he was a very popular villain for a couple seasons or something like that, and it was just really memorable. I think this is just more
just like promo
stuff, yeah. Because
yeah, honestly, I'm more excited for Lei.
Yeah, you've seen all the. I think you've probably seen the memes where it's just like, this isn't gonna bring the Walking Dead's interest back to AMC. Calm down.
Yeah, I think people are honestly more excited for the return characters.
Oh, yeah.
From the old
well, yeah, because people love seeing
Yeah.
their babies come back.
I mean, we at least for now we know is we got Anna and Lei, and then we got 3 more, including 3 more, and then Negan's separate from that list. So.
So he's just like on the side.
Yeah, because the way they showed it in the season 2 trailer was they had this whole like designed out where it's just boxes of characters. So they had Anna and Lei in the first 2 boxes, and there were 3 more empty ones and the black one, which is Negan, because they zoomed in on it, and that's when they revealed, oh, Negan's coming to Tekken 7.
Yeah, but they didn't show any footage of him. They just like said his name.
Yeah.
But they did show footage for Lei.
And Anna. Yeah.
I'm more excited for Lei though, just because he got a rage drive for each stance.
So like so basically he just like changes stances and he plays a little differently or something like that.
Well, I mean, he's like the he's the Jackie Chan homage to the like martial laws Bruce Lee homage.
Okay.
And like he's got the crane, he's got the tiger, he's got the mantis, he's got the what else did he have? The dragon. He's got all those things.
And he's got Drunken too.
Oh yeah, and he's got drunken.
Oh, that's cool.
And he has a rage, like most characters have a rage drive and a rage art, and Lei Wulong has a rage drive for each of his stances.
Oh wow. So he's like super versatile in that
Oh
regard.
yeah.
Lei is a character that wasn't really ever, well, not really ever, but he wasn't really played that often in the older Tekkens, but he's still just a character that people want back because he's been in Tekkens for years.
So he's just like he's just a classic character that people love.
And and part of the problem, or part of the one thing that people were kind of angry about when 7 came out was they brought Law back, but they didn't bring Lei back because he's like, oh, you have Bruce Lee back in here, but you don't have Jackie Chan. Like, come on. Who was that character? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, but I think season 2 they're also putting in other changes too. I think they were changing some people's rage drives and things like that. So Tekken 7 is going to be very interesting during this whole season 2 thing. Maybe we'll get some nice changes. Buff Lars. I mean, what?
But yeah, that was announced at Evo, right?
Yeah, that was shown at Evo.
You mostly watched a lot of it, right, Will?
I didn't get to watch most of it live because most of the days it was going on, I was working.
Yeah, same here.
So...
It was just like... But I heard that, like, generally this was a well-received year, right?
Oh, yeah. Depending on who you ask and depending on what community.
Well, I mean, the Tekken community is always going to be happy we don't get stuff much.
Oh my god, the Tekken Top 8. If you people haven't watched Tekken Top 8, go watch Tekken Top 8.
Yeah, you were telling us about it in the car.
For
and
this
I was
year,
like,
it was...
and I was like, I don't even watch Tekken, but I'll check that out. It sounded like a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, to sum it up, really, it started with a really strong first game, like a really, really good first game, and then kind of petered out toward the end, especially when it got to the grand finals, but
the momentum still like carried on pretty well, right? It didn't like it wasn't like a slog.
Yeah, so they got like what they really needed in the first game, which is good. I think I didn't watch any of the other besides the grand finals for Fighter Z, but that's just because I saw things on social media about someone summoning Shenron twice, and I went, okay, I'm gonna go watch this.
Didn't they like have some news for that as well, or was that just like
I don't think they had anything at Evo for Fighter Z. The Goku and Vegeta announcement happened before Evo even started. So,
Oh, okay. So we're gonna go next in like 2 years, right?
You keep saying that.
We're gonna go into Evo in about 2 years, guys.
Oh my god.
Well, what are you gonna be playing at Evo in 2 years? Announce it now.
I don't know.
That's not a fighting game. You have to go tell us what. After what are you playing in 2 years at Evo?
Obviously, Tekken 8.
Okay, well he'll be playing Tekken 8.
If Tekken 8's even out in 2 years.
Yeah, that's right. It takes how many years for a Tekken game to get released?
I mean, Tekken 7 took quite a few.
So you're gonna play Tekken 7 Season 4?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I might be Tekken, or I might.
They'll have Spider-Man in by then.
You know.
And he'll have a skateboard, and he'll whip people around with his skateboard. And you're like, why does he have a skateboard?
You
now?
know, actually, I could see Spider-Man working very good with Tekken's juggling system. No, I mean, think about it. Like, you launch a guy, and then you web him back, and you just keep the combo going.
You kick him in the air. You're like.
No, like, speaking of Spider-Man, that does make me pretty excited for, like, the game they showed at E3.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to be Arkham with Spider-Man, but I can see that working so well.
Yeah, he has a pretty good rogues gallery, and everybody likes it.
There is, I guess going back to the whole, well, what are you gonna play with Evo?
Were you playing Evo?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll run like a, not run, but maybe I'll just enter Melty Blood so I can be top 8 no matter what.
You'll go to the Fat Burger like garbage dump and just like play a couple rounds and then you'll like be on like a t-shirt. Someone will have your face on a t-shirt already. And you're like, how did this happen? I just showed up, and I guess I'll play like fucking Puyo Puyo Tetris, but like Tetris only because I can't play Puyo Puyo.
But like, Will, don't you have to fight me as like? Don't we have to do our Josie versus Dragonov ritual?
Oh my god.
The one where no one ever wins consistently.
Well, no, it's whoever gets the way the tournament things go. It's whoever gets the first 2 games out of 3. So whoever gets to 2 games wins, which would mean if we did both enter Tekken and we did get to hopefully on a streamed stage for pools and we both actually ended up facing each other, it'd be very weird.
No, but like the joke is whenever me and him play Tekken with like usually lately it's been Josie versus Dragonov, and like we don't have like a consistent winner of who's better than the other. It just keeps going back and forth, and it's
yeah. I don't know. But just a disclaimer: the Melty Blood thing is actually just a huge joke. I'm pretty sure there's more Melty Blood players out there than 8.
Though my friend,
but the tournament is still in like a Denny's bathroom across the street.
Yeah.
Though my friend did get top 8 at Samurai Showdown 2 during Evo, so congrats to her. Shout out to Food Boss. You make real good art. Everybody in that server makes real good art. Everybody in the server. If you listening to this, first of all, why are you listening to this? I have no reason why anybody. Legit, I ask people, hey, can you listen to it? No one ever wants to. Anyways, but yeah, if you're listening to this and you're in Kaufman's art server, which is amazing and wonderful, yeah, you're all great at art and just make more art. And Mobster Melody, your art is amazing. See, I'm only saying this because I'm gonna go and timestamp this part, then send it to him, and then just like he'll freak out and be like, "No, don't say those nice things."
Why don't you just send them the episode and be like, "Hey guys, listen to this."
No, they're not gonna.
Wink, wink.
They're not gonna. They're not gonna. None of them are. Anyways, I don't want them to. I don't want anyone to listen to this.
Wait,
Renee, Renee, delete the entire episode. We're starting over again. I get to talk about K. Rool. Nobody let me talk about King K. Rool.
Don't talk about King K. Rool.
He's really
and his dumb name that wants to be changed.
I was actually legit like when I was at work. The day K. Rool got announced, and I was just like sitting at work thinking about how great it is. I was just like, I wonder if like the developers who like. The guys at Rare are like freaking out. The guys who like worked at Rare during that time are like freaking out about it. Apparently one was, and he's all like, he's just like, I kind of wish that we named K. Rool with something better. I kind of wish that his name wasn't.
I spent more than 15 minutes thinking about his name.
I like King K. Rool. It's great, even though that there's a good sect of people who call him Karul, and I'm like, no, you're wrong.
Don't we know someone who calls him Karul?
Do we?
Yeah, isn't it that like dumb monkey dude?
Mark?
Yeah.
No, Mark calls him King K. Rool.
Okay, then who calls
or
him?
Eric.
Then who calls him Karul?
I don't know who calls him K. Rool.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that in the wild though. So
I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm really excited. His reveal was great. He works exactly how I wanted him to, where he's just this mix of amalgamations of his moves from all the games that he was in. He throws the crown, he shoots the blunderbuss, he has a little copter, he goes and blows up an entire island as a special. It's fucking great. And the only thing is, he just looks kind of slow, and I'm just like, oh. But I kind of hope that his projectiles kind of make up for it, though I do really love his running animation. Because it matches Donkey Kong so well, because they're both just on all fours, just booking it towards each other, and trailer was just amazing, and it was real good. And I'm excited to see who else is going to get into that game, and you know what, honestly though, if Masahiro Sakurai came out and said that the roster's done, I'd be happy with it. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
You guys, okay.
Can we talk about the one character that hasn't returned yet, though? Snake's ass.
Yeah. Yes.
Where did it go? Where did his booty go?
Kojima took it with him after he left.
You know.
Yeah, no.
They gave him that box and they're like, put all your shit in there, and then he put like maybe like a ficus and like that seagull that can talk to humans but refuses to, and then he took Snake's ass with him. And they're like, ah, shit, okay, we gotta go send Sakurai Snake's ass. Where did his ass go?
Where's Raiden's ass?
Where's Raiden's ass?
You know, I still just love that joke about the dove who talk to humans. I know that was just an Onion article, but it feels too real.
There was for some context, there was an Onion article. It was like games that game devs really wish they could make, but they can't. And like all of them were kind of just like not right, and they were like very out of character. But Hideo Kojima's was absolutely perfect. His was, I want to make a pigeon simulator game where you play as a pigeon who can talk to people, but chooses not to.
And the thing is, that sounds like something he would say.
Right?
Right at any point.
Like, there would be, like, I would not be surprised if there's a bird in Death Stranding that, like its bio is, it can talk to people, but chooses not to.
I'm not gonna lie, so my latest D&D character, I told you how it was just a cat, right?
Yeah, it was
and
just
they
a
can
cat.
talk to people, but most of the times I don't. Most of the time I just meow.
You just don't want to.
Most of the times I just do cat things.
You're just sitting around and just catting up.
Yeah, I was just like...
How is that campaign going so far, anyways?
The first session was just horrible rolls on everyone's part, so we got our
okay.
asses kicked repeatedly.
Beautiful.
I also, keep in mind, Aftab's cat, it's not an assassin. It's not like a warrior. It's just a normal ass cat, but it's like an engineer or something.
Yeah, it's like...
I wanted it to be a wizard cat, so it can be like Bolty Cat. Go visit Bolty Cat. I'll put Bolty Cat's Tumblr because his art's real good. His art's real good. He's the only person I met up with at AX from the internet that I was happy about. This is also just another common Tumblr thing.
Is this episode just going to become Anthony's timestamp episode so he can just go and compliment all of his art friends?
Yeah! Because they're all wonderful and great.
Just stick it at different points in the episode.
Yeah! Oh, it's going to be annoying editing that in and figuring out where all that stuff was.
Editing Anthony, remember to do this.
Editing Anthony, you're not going to have fun with this. After you spend 17 minutes trying to find background music to put into this.
I'm probably going to get an angry... future me's probably going to get an angry message going, why did you let me decide to do this?
At least I'm not saying throw an image up on the screen, because then I would actually have to ask you to edit this. Anyways, yeah. So you're running an engineer cat. Did that actually help out, or did?
Considering no one else really had dedicated healing, yeah, I had to pick up like people's faces 8 times. I have this thing that revives. I have things that heal. But one time I actually tried to use my healing gun, though I got a critical fail and I hit the enemy instead.
Wonderful.
Wait, you have a healing gun?
Yeah, it's like a dark. Think of it like Anna's gun from Overwatch.
Oh yeah. But like, how does a cat hold it?
Oh, it's like so my cat's an engineer, so he specifically designed all his weapons for himself. So the gun's kind of like a Zoid cannon on his back.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, does he Mutroid it, or he's just like laying on the ground and he just has an arm cannon? He's like, pew pew pew.
And I plan to have like the DM said I could do this. I plan to amass gold and build like a fighting robot suit, like Iron Man suit for my cat.
You should get the Mutroid cannon, though. I roll acrobatics. I roll to the side and then fire twice.
That'd be amusing, yeah.
Mutroid was a mini game that you can unlock in WarioWare Twisted, where you just play as a cat with an arm cannon and you just literally just roll around on the ground just shooting enemies.
That's cute.
Yeah, and then apparently they made a sequel to it in the new one. The new WarioWare is like really, really good.
Okay, there's something to talk about.
Yeah, it's real good. It's like really, really good. If you've never played a WarioWare game, go and find your friend who has and like play like 3 seconds of it, and you'll be like, oh, this is fun. The thing about it though is you don't play it for like the story mode or like to get like a story or anything like that, because you'll beat the story mode in like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 maybe. And then like after that, it's just time attack. It's just like score mode. It's just you just try to get better and try to just get a high score. So I had it with me last recording, and I just had Will and Nathan just kind of like play a little bit of it. And you both kind of liked it, right?
Yeah, and then Nathan did the thing.
Yeah, so
at the end
Nathan
of the
went.
night.
So Nathan was playing it the most, and he was playing the base tutorial Wario stage. It basically teaches you, okay, it kind of like gives you a feel for the game. Actually, you know what? I just remembered. It has a fucking demo. Just go download the demo off your 3DS. I know, it's on the 3DS of all things,
Also
not the
a
Switch.
demo? What?
Yeah, go download it.
The 3DS is still getting support? What?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I honestly thought the game was coming out later, but it like came out like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Speaking of games that are coming out, Generations is getting its ultimate version. I'm hoping this time around it just feels better.
Yeah, is that when's that coming out?
This month on the Switch.
Shit.
On the Switch, so it'll actually be comfortable to play.
Yeah. So but yeah, go and play that demo.
Are you saying it's not comfortable to play Monster Hunter on a 3DS?
I'm saying that when you've had your 3DS so long, the second control stick just kind of becomes a melted lump of rubber that doesn't function anymore. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna go with you don't like clawing?
I was a PSP player.
Yeah, I know.
I remember the pain.
You
Look how far my
remember the
freaking. Look how far my
The claw
index
is amazing.
finger can stretch from.
Remember that?
my fingers.
You seen that picture?
Yeah,
right?
there was this. Describe the Tumblr post. Just tell them about it.
So someone cropped this image from, I don't know if it was a doujin or
I'm pretty
like
sure
an
it's like
actual
a
manga. But
I'm pretty
like,
sure it's a hentai manga or
it's
something.
just this girl lying on her stomach. She's playing on the PSP, and someone's like, I know this is supposed to be like focused on her butt, but like the first thing I noticed was the way she was holding the PSP, and she's doing the claw. Which, if people don't know, on like games like Monster Hunter, where you have no second stick to control the camera, they stuck it on the D-pad, so you had to lift your index finger off the shoulder button and use it instead to push the D-pad buttons, so you could actually rotate the camera. And that was really cool detail to notice. It became this whole post about, man,
I remember the claw.
people with good taste.
Yeah.
Though
I don't know why this finger does it though.
I think that's just how your hands are.
I
Maybe.
think maybe you just
My
have-
hands were naturally built to claw. It was always meant to be.
Yeah, that's why you're a Monster Hunter player.
God came down and said, "You will have weird fingers, so you can play Monster Hunter better. You're welcome."
Yeah, that's back in old days of Monster Hunter.
Oof. Yeah. Speaking of which, just like there's. Back on the topic of the Final Fantasy fight, it's supposed to be a Monster Hunter World reference and crossover, but with the way Final Fantasy updates your position on the, I almost said board, on the field, I guess,
Yeah.
is they update it every couple of seconds. So if you move out of an AoE at the last second, you're still in the AoE, because it hasn't updated yet. So with the way that works, and the way Rathalos' hitboxes, with it being not exactly as precise as it would be in Monster Hunter World, because Final Fantasy XIV isn't as precise as Monster Hunter World. Those two kind of combine, and sometimes I just feel like I'm playing Freedom Unite again.
You're like, I thought we
And
left.
for those who don't know, Freedom Unite had terrible
I
hitboxes.
thought we left this in the past.
You're just having you're just having Freedom Unite flashbacks.
No, I said that to one of my parties. I made a Monster Hunter Freedom Unite joke, and they got the joke. They weren't expecting the joke, but they told me that they should have been expecting the joke.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yes, I remember the pain. The
No.
phantom pain. And then I dropped a Metal Gear reference in there afterwards.
Well, I
That's
mean,
cute.
it's they're not gonna get the joke if you made a damn it, what's it called? Well, especially if you're talking about Freedom Unite and you didn't make a hip check joke because it's not a plussy, so you know.
Yeah.
Well, no, but they were like, yeah, I should have expected that joke. And I'm like, yeah, but I guess the bright side is it's not a plesioth.
Yeah.
And then they gave me one of those, like, dead face emotes.
So I'm really curious. You say that you're like spending like a good chunk of time like trying to find people who actually know what they're doing with the Rathalos fight and stuff like that. Isn't that like what guilds and stuff are
My guild is very not interested in this fight because it came out with a bunch of other content.
Yep.
Which is deemed kind of more important because Rathlos is only giving you cosmetics an amount. Of which, you know, every freaking MMO player has like a bajillion mounts.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, my guild's more interested in, like, the endgame content, the savage rating, and all that.
Oh, okay. Can't you find a guild of people who like Monster Hunter, though?
Probably. But I do like the people in my guild.
So you can only be in one guild at a time?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not .hack.
Oh, okay. Like the cheap free MMOs I used to be on, like it was like you can join like 4 or 8 guilds if you wanted, and I was like, oh, okay, that's nice.
You know, .hack does that. Like, I know .hack's not an actual MMO, but like.
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, I mean, actually, there was this thing called Fragment that was like an actual MMO based off the world from the original series. And when I say the world, I don't mean like the world of the original series. I mean the actual game, the world in .hack.
Yeah.
Which is really confusing, I know. But like, you can blame Namco for that one. Good series though. Really glad GU got a reboot. Though I'm curious why they decided to go with GU as opposed to like the original quadrilogy.
Probably because GU is a bit easier to just jump into.
Probably.
Yeah, and plus like that twist at the end of what GU actually stands for.
And then they added another section to GU to make it a quadrilogy.
Yay!
Yay!
So now they're both quadrilogy.
I remember when Nero was playing the GU, the remake, he was actually a little sad because he remembered getting a lot more emails in those games than like, because he broke out like his he broke out a piece of paper and he's like, I'm gonna go and count how many times the character says I need to check my email.
Yeah.
And apparently it was only in like the single digits, and he was like, oh, I remember doing this a lot more.
Maybe he was sending more postcards.
Maybe, or I'm actually not sure, but still, he was like super excited about that. That was a real good. That came out last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think early this year, maybe.
Something like that.
I think it came out last year, and then like Nero was just like, this year was savage on me with video games, and he had like this giant like stack of games that just came out last year because he had Persona 5 and that and Yakuza and all that stuff.
Speaking of which, Kiwami 2 comes out this month.
Yay! So, are they just pumping out Yakuza games like super fast?
More so they're releasing ones that have been out in Japan over here.
Yeah.
Oh!
Because Zero was actually out in Japan like 2015 or something like that, and we finally got it over here in 2017. And then
Kiwami came out a short while
well,
after.
Zero saved the series in the United States.
Yeah, Zero brought back popularity of the series in the United States, so they decided to translate Kiwami, the game that Zero was kind of like. It was based on the engine of.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, it was a little bit weird to go to Zero to get Kiwami, because then it felt like a little bit was missing. But it was still really fun and, like, really satisfying, because at the time I was having problems with AT&T, so every time I was playing Kiwami, it was just pretending to beat up AT&T employees.
Yeah, because, like, it feels like Yakuza just came out of nowhere, got really big, and then, like, they're, like, releasing, like, 3 or 8 games a year, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It helps that, so, going back in the past of Yakuza a little bit, back when they did Dead Souls, which was the zombie spin-off after 5, after 4, I think.
One of them.
Yeah. That pretty much kind of killed their drive to do a Western release of the game series, because it did not sell well at all.
Oh, wow.
Until the fans came back and they did a petition to Sega and said, hey, release 5 in the United States, and they did. But they did it digital only on the PSN, and it sold well enough that they were like, okay, we'll just keep going.
Let's see how good this goes.
With Zero, the whole thing with Zero is that since Zero is a prequel before even 1 happens, and it's just a blank slate, it's a really good jumping in point for people. So when it came out, so
like,
it sold.
A lot of fresh blood.
A lot of people are like, hey, if you like the Yakuza games, go, or if you want to try a Yakuza game, go play Yakuza 0. And it kind of, since it sold so well, it's like, oh, now there's a bunch of new fans, and then they released 6 last year on the PS4, and then we get Kiwami 1, which is a remake of 1, and then Kiwami 2. I mean, back when 0 was coming out, Sega actually ordered a special reprint of all the games up until 5 for the United States that you could go order, including 1 and 2, the PS2 games.
Oh wow.
So, I don't know if you can still order it now, but not that it doesn't matter, but I mean you can go and get Kiwami 1 and 2 at least for if you want to keep going with the story.
Right, and then everything after 3 was on PS3, right?
Yeah.
Don't they have more Kiwami games planned?
I hope so, because again, it's also kind of weird going back to like Yakuza 3 up until 5 or 6, because the mechanics are just different.
Yeah, because they've been so improved upon by the Zero and Kiwami.
Anyway, Yakuza 0 came out on Steam, and I have like 20 something hours, and I'm only on chapter 4.
Yeah, I've noticed I noticed you've been playing it a lot, and I was
just like
yeah, that sounds about right. To be honest, there's just so much to do. Go save the whatever. Okay, after like 7 rounds of karaoke.
Yeah.
I'm actually really happy with the Yakuza series, though. Like, it seems like they really found a nice place, and they're doing really well for themselves. And also, I know that I said we wouldn't go and try to talk about this, but like, Yakuza fans are like really good. Like, I can't think of anyone else who's actually like, I can't think of any other fans that like don't that aren't as bad as Yakuza. Like, there's like a lot of fans. Like, I remember like last year I was like, okay, like who like didn't bother me the most whenever I was like scrolling around on the internet, and I was like, yeah, Yakuza people just didn't do anything. They just like talked about how much they like Yakuza. I don't know about you guys, it was like, even like I was thinking about Persona, I was like, even the Persona fans like had like a little bit of shit this year that was like annoying to deal with. But like Yakuza, nobody gave a shit about it. They just like, the fans were just like happy and they were just playing it.
Yeah.
The way it should be.
Well, I mean, I remember seeing a post or two about people saying, hey, if you ever get a Yakuza game, just don't focus on the story. If you ever play a Yakuza game, just go wander around. You'll find something to do. It's fun.
Yeah. It is. Though I do like the story. I thought it was
the story is great in Zero. And that's kind of the other thing, is that the Yakuza kind of puts that balance in open world games, I've noticed, compared to like, I don't want to say Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row or something, but like, compared to other open world games where there is stuff to do in those games, Yakuza is just kind of like, it helps that it's not as big as the world. They only focus on like 1 or 2 towns, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And they're just like, hey, here's a town, and there's all the stuff you can do to have fun in the town. Have fun.
I always thought that was a better approach.
And then they give you a really strong narrative usually too on the side, so you actually have a bit of a motivation to do things.
Well, yeah, you like when you do want to go back to the story, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I always loved how Yakuza goes from like open world to linear arcade beat 'em up. like the story stages are pretty much all linear beat 'em up stages, and it's really good. It's fantastic, satisfying combat.
Yeah.
Though it can be a bit difficult. I do remember one pretty rage-inducing fight in Yakuza Kiwami 1 where you were just locked in a very small room with way too many people.
Yeah. That's happened that happens even in Zero sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes there's just too many people you're expected to fight, and then like some of them will have weapons that knock you down in one hit. And
that's
you gotta
annoying.
mash X to get back up, and by the time you do, you've been hit like 7 more times.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's just too much on screen.
Anyway, Anthony, you were saying something?
Oh, no, I was just like, man, that just reminds me of like when you're like playing No More Heroes, and then someone like hits you in the back of your head, and you have to, and you have like 4 people smacking your.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the other thing that like the one other kind of gripe I have with it is just when you think you dodged an attack, and they're like, it feels like it should be an aimed attack, that if you put so much force behind a punch, it should like be stuck going one direction, and then they like rubber band around and hit you in the face.
Yeah. That's kind of beat 'em up behavior though.
Yeah, that is beat 'em up behavior, but I know what game was really bad about that, and this might like give you some flashbacks. But you remember Vindictus?
What's that?
It's like a beat 'em up MMO with really solid gameplay and really
so
bad
much
everything
potential.
else. Core gameplay, fantastic. Everything else, shit.
The gameplay's great, at least from what I remember and what
Core
I enjoy
gameplay.
doing. Yeah,
Core gameplay.
When did it come out? I don't remember this series. About
Vindictus has been around since like, oh god, when was
2011?
Earlier than that, 2009, I want to say.
And it's been, and it still keeps going, or
It's still going.
It still
it's just,
exists.
Well, that's
It
good.
exists, but it's like very. depopulated by now.
Well,
Let me just say
yeah.
one word that'll probably explain a lot to you. Nexon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to explain that to people who might not?
Okay,
We
so
are kind of like doing a thing where like
okay, so
we're trying to entertain people, and they might not know what that means.
okay, so for people who don't know, surprisingly, have you ever heard of MapleStory
Yeah.
or
Mabinogi.
Mabinogi
Maybe.
or
Combat Arms.
Combat Arms?
Oh, that's my favorite.
They're all published by a company called Nexon,
Oh, they must be great.
which they are kind of pioneers of the free-to-play genre and like market. What's the word? Market. Yeah, I guess market's the best word. Where you get like you have all microtransactions for cosmetic items or stuff, but they're also the company who gave you microtransactions for like level experience boosters and better equipment, that kind of stuff. They kind of gave
Loot boxes
Yeah.
for better equipment, basically.
well, they didn't do the loot boxes.
Well, Vindictus does.
Now they do. But they have what's it called? They kind of also were pioneers of pay to win, kind of. But they have kind of a reputation, especially with certain games, of just they make a game free to play, or they release a free to play game and then try to milk as much money out of it as possible and then kind of let it die. But some like Dungeon Fighter Online, some people might know about that one, which thankfully has made a comeback because the devs of that game actually bought the rights back from Nexon and said, we're going to release it on our own.
Is Dungeon Fighter that one that it's like it's like you just kind of walk around an area and then you just kind of like pair up with someone randomly and then you and that person have to fight 2 other people or something?
No,
I don't
but
think
it's
so.
like a
It's like a-
2D like
It's
side-scrolling
a 2D
beat 'em up.
beat 'em up, side scroll.
Okay, no, the thing I'm thinking about was like some weird
Speaking
RPG
of
like
side-scrolling
browser MMO that you would play.
Yeah, speaking of side-scrolling beat-em-ups, me and a couple other of my friends, and I don't know if you know one of them. I know you know them. Will, I know you know them, Anthony. I don't know if you've met Frenchie.
No, I don't think so. If I did, I probably forgot them. Sorry, Frenchie. Frenchie's not gonna listen to this.
No, he's not.
He might.
If I send it to him, he might.
Well, are you? You're not. I mean, so.
Anyway, so we actually got interested in doing L-Sword again.
Oh, that's why you were playing L-Sword.
Yeah, I was setting up like controller and stuff because like as I realized after I booted it up for the first time, you don't move with WASD, you move with the arrow keys, and that's horrid.
Well, L-Sword on keyboard is just kind of...
I mean, it's I've heard that people are like, well, you know, keyboard combo is better, but controller has better mobility, and I'm sitting here, what's so hard to combo on keyboard? It's just hold down a trigger and press a button for a skill. My problem is remembering that this is going by Xbox inputs and I'm on a PS4 controller.
Hey. That's why you run L-Sword. Okay. That explains it.
Yep.
What Vindictus's case is, it was kind of a, at least from what I understand, it's kind of a combined effort between the dev and Nexon, where the devs didn't really give us good enough servers. In fact, and the other thing about Vindictus, it runs on the Source engine, which is pretty cool what they managed to do with the Source engine, because it's a really heavily modified version of the Source engine. The problem is that it's really badly optimized. Like,
Oh, that sucks.
The best computer in the world will run that thing at 30 FPS.
even my desktop, with what they've updated it to, it just chugs with Vindictus. Like, it could have been better. It could have been, well, it could have been worse, but... And I'll say, yeah, my computer is not the most up to date, especially my desktop. It's pretty old in comparison to stuff, but I'm still running things like Yakuza and Rainbow Six Siege and stuff at 144 plus frames per second, and Vindictus comes in and is like, hey,
Sub 20.
45, 20, what?
Which really sucks in a game where you're trying to actively dodge.
Yeah.
But though I give people credit if they've been playing for almost 10 years now.
People have been.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, for me, I got to a certain point in Vindictus where gameplay stopped being fun because making gear that you actually needed, like, not to be top percentage or anything, but just needed to function and contribute, became too much of a chore.
Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure some people listening to this will be like, well, that's just a Korean MMO, man. Like, but at the same time, it's
I
just
mean, not
kind
all of them are like that, though.
No. But Vindictus just kind of... I can see so much potential for Vindictus, and I keep trying to find other games that are like Vindictus, like Critica or...
What about Black Desert?
Black Desert I haven't really gotten back into, which is another problem with me with Black Desert was... I'm okay with the idea of a sandbox MMO and, you know, being able to go off and do whatever you want.
Didn't Black Desert have like really nice models though?
Yeah, it had really nice models. It has a really good character creator.
That's like the only thing I know about it is like I'll see like a thread and everyone's like, post your whores, and everyone's like posting like these really busty ladies. I'm like, oh wow, that's a really pretty game. It's an MMO. I'm never gonna play it.
Yeah, but the thing is it also falls into the trap of Korean MMOs. It's kind of the old grinder style MMO where like it literally has a mode of where you can set it so the game is running at like minimal computer
Specs,
usage. Yeah. Well, not running at specs, but it sets itself so it's running
very
low usage of your resources. And you can just like set it while you're fishing or something and just leave it there.
And then you come back, get a sandwich, get some Stromboli,
Yeah.
go and watch what movies people watching these days? Go watch the new Mission Impossible, come back and see that you caught 4 fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all like the normal fish.
That's kind of what turned me off of it. I just kind of like
Too much of a
went,
grinder.
I'm not going to go do that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, like, on the topic of MMOs, Final Fantasy takes, like, the direct opposite approach to that, where they're completely against automation at all.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And it does kind of suck, like, because, like, everything you have to do it yourself, and that means spending for those 4 hours crafting all those ores into ingots so you can then use those ingots to make one sword.
Yay. But some people like crafting.
Oh, I love crafting in that game. It's fantastic. I
See?
love how active
Yeah.
it is. I like that my crafting isn't press a button, now wait 4 minutes for this to be done. No, in that game, I'm actually doing something. I'm actually being like, well, if I combine these skills, I can guarantee the item I make is of the top percentage.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I thought that when you said doing something, I thought you meant you had to do like a Cooking Mama mini game, and I was like, that'd be fun.
No,
That'd be also awful.
crafting in Final Fantasy XIV actually has its own rotation like any DPS would.
Yeah, like, it's like, you have, like, the rotation of skills you would use in combat, and then you have a rotation of skills you would use in crafting.
Oh, okay.
So, like, much like combat, it's actually about being statted and using the right skills.
That's cool.
It's
Still, a
actually
Cooking Mama
really
minigame
enjoyable.
would be pretty fun though.
You know, I would like that. I would hate that, but I would like that.
Like your brain is like, your brain like is on concept. It's like, yeah, that'd be kind of fun. You're just like you're physically making the sword. Then you're like, oh, but I need to do like everything fucking perfectly, or else the sword's not gonna be perfect, and I need to get it down. And I had to go and grind for 10 hours to get that one resource, and I don't want to fuck this up. And then you only get like perfect, great, perfect. And you're like, into the trash.
Wait, so it's like that. It's like that. What game was that on the 3DS that Marcus had? The blacksmithing one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The weapon shop one.
The weapon
Yeah.
shop one. I had that game too. I never beat it. I actually bought that and some game about like it was just like this like it's this like slice of life game where you're like walking around and everyone's talking about how every week like fucking giant monsters just come in, and it's just like it was like super casual, and everyone's just like yeah, just giant monsters come in every Friday, just watch out, just like when Friday hits, just fucking just stay in your house and you'll be fine. I didn't even get to see the first giant monster. I should find
Let's
out.
go play those games.
I should go beat that game.
Oh.
Sorry, Nathan, I'm not gonna play Metabots.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go play this game, or at least just look it up online.
Which Metabots?
Nathan lent me a ROM of one of the Metabot games for GBA. He's gonna lend. I need to lend it to you too as well because he wants
might
to.
have it.
Okay, so he wants to do a Metabot show, and I'm like, no, we're not gonna have a Metabot show.
Sorry, Nathan, we're not gonna have your Metabot show for quite a while now.
We're not gonna have it. It's not gonna be real. We're gonna talk about something else next week or something.
Why does he want the Metabot show so bad?
He's really into Metabots right now.
He's like having a nostalgia boner for it, which it's cool. I like Metabots a lot. There was that. I remember this one time, Hoffy, Nathan, and I rewatched the entire first season, and we were bitching
Wasn't
about.
I there too?
You might have been there.
Because I remember like the really stupid rules and like how you could
Yeah,
and we were all
yeah.
And apparently that's not in the Japanese version.
Oh, okay.
Wow, so it's just Americans screw it up again. Okay.
No, the American version has like this great moment where like, so the villains, they go and infiltrate. Nathan's gonna be so mad at us because like we're talking about Metabots in this like casual show, and then we're not gonna have anything to talk about when we have a Metabot show. But yeah, so like there was an episode where they go to like this scientist base, and like the villains are like secretly in the lab, and like one of the villains, he casually falls in love with like this nerdy scientist lady.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have like this mild like kind of like this mild understanding because she likes him and he likes her, but like she accidentally like says that she's gonna, like one of her coworkers is like, hey, we're still down for drinks tonight, and he's like, oh, she has a boyfriend.
Aww.
I guess I should just give up my life of being a normal civilian and just go back to my crappy Team Rocket knockoff. And then as they're leaving, like, she like runs up and she's like, I don't care, I'll just be with you, no, it's cool. And then like he like escapes, and then she's all sad. Then Metabee just turns to Icky, he's like, yo, hit her on the rebound, Icky. And she's like a fucking adult, and he's like a child, and I was like, oh my god.
Didn't she eventually like join them anyway?
In like the last episode, she shows up, and then she's like, yo, I'm gonna be with you, and I'm gonna join, and I want you to like ditch the crappy Team Rocket knockoff. And he's like, no, this is my team, I'm their leader, I gotta go and be there. And she's like, fine, I'll just join your Team Rocket thing. And then they just like get together, and he's just like, yep, you're my second in command now. And then she's like, this is the best. And I was like, she's the best, she's got glasses and dark hair, it's great. Yeah.
You okay there, sir? Oh boy.
Oh, okay, so
no.
Aftab wants to talk about anime.
Yep.
Well, I mean, speaking of glasses and dark hair, the main heroine of real life has glasses and dark hair. Wait, sometimes glasses and dark hair, but dark hair, long dark hair.
Sometimes.
But she dressed up in a maid outfit with the glasses.
Of course. Of course, it's the maid thing.
No, I actually just really like her a lot. It's really wholesome. It's actually too wholesome. It causes me physical pain to watch that show.
Okay, can you go and explain what real life is to people who don't?
So real life is an anime about a kind of this 27-year-old NEET who's been trying to find a job but can't find a job.
Because that's a little too.
That's too real.
It's already too real, right? He's 27. He went to college. After college, he went into the real world. He couldn't find a job. Too real already. This is episode 1.
Well, just want to let you know we don't have too much time
keep
now.
Going.
So you better keep talking, son.
Well, I mean, so yeah. So the premise of the story is he gets offered a real life, quote unquote, by this shady ass individual.
Never.
With a miracle drug, right? I know it sounds really shady. Turns out the guy works for the government, so it's okay.
I don't know. That makes it okay or worse.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's okay or worse, but
it could just be a drug to make the freaking frogs gay.
So the drug makes you look like you are in high school, and the premise of real life is to go back to high school and do your high school over so that you can, like, learn to be a part of society again.
That sounds terrible.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off. Well, did you see the stupid Fallout New Vegas thing with Alex Jones? Truth is, the frogs were always
Oh boy!
I'm so sorry. Okay,
yeah, but it sounds like it sucks.
So basically, he goes back to high school. He's gotta go talk about Fortnite and Minecraft. Kids these days don't know about Marco's Modern Life, I'm guessing, right?
Well, no. So like he goes and he's struggling with high school, and he's just like, because like imagine if you actually went back to high school and you had to do the curriculum. Would you remember anything?
Does he actually keep his adult knowledge at least?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
He is an adult. He is masquerading as a high schooler.
That sounds terrible.
It kind of is, and that's kind of the whole point of real life. Is it's supposed to be hard because they're dealing with NEETs. It's like the premise behind real life is it's a NEET rehabilitation program that the government is running.
Shinzo Abe, this isn't gonna get people to have more babies.
I think I just
you got to try harder. Come on.
I I think the
Well,
word.
it turns into like this thing of like his whole plan was I'm just gonna coast through this, stay in the background, not make a big splash, because if I get through this, they're gonna give me a job recommendation.
Yeah.
Because like that's the point. If they get through the real life successfully, they get like the government helps them find work.
So you survive high school and you can get a job.
Yep.
Wasn't that how it's supposed to be?
Does he wind up like sitting in the protagonist seat or something on accident?
Pretty much because like part of the whole thing is to rediscover your old self that kind of withered and died because
Real life.
Real life.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the whole points of real life is to reconnect with the old you, and like take that knowledge into the real world instead of becoming disillusioned and losing it.
Mm-hmm.
And where was I?
But yeah, but still, you would recently just like got a couple MMOs, just
Episodes.
just got a couple. OVAs.
Yeah, they finished the series with some OVAs and was just super wholesome. I remember what I was saying. So like, the way he was before, like, society crushed him, is he was a naturally charismatic and caring individual. And as that starts to come out more, as he does his real life more and more people become drawn to him, and he actually kind of becomes the center of his little class group. And then I'm sitting there screaming because at the end, everyone's going to forget him because it would be an inconsistency if this 27-year-old guy was posing to be a 17-year-old. And, like, they all learned about that. Yeah, you can imagine how bad that would be.
So the men in black come in and are like, when you wake up, you're going to go get some shoes
like,
and...
Everybody he gets to keep his memories because there'd be no
also
point.
buy her some ice cream. Sorry.
Yeah, but, like, he gets to keep his memories because there would be no point if he didn't remember the real life.
I like how Aftab just like kind of spoiled the whole like.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so you don't now I don't need to watch it no more.
Yeah! Woo!
This is all stuff explained in episode 1.
Oh.
Ah, damn it! I thought I could go out of this and.
Editing Anthony could just cut it out. And
Well, no, I think Anthony's just gonna leave everything in. But either way,
but it's a great show. I would really watch it. It is.
You would really watch it. I thought you already did.
I would watch it again.
Why?
Even though it causes me physical pain, it's that good.
Oh, it's one of those shows like Toradora.
Or
Yeah,
My
exactly.
Love Life.
Or Angel Beats.
Or Mysterious Baconator X.
Yeah, no, it's one of those shows that it's like, it's good anime.
You just
that
kinda,
hurts to watch.
You watch it and you go,
That like rips your heart out and into pieces.
Well, Baconator X just felt a little too personal for me. But anyways, I think that I think we should close up our doors and head out for the day.
Aw.
Yeah, it's running a little late. All right, so this was great. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad the shit episode was fun. This has been the Creepo Depot. Who have you people been?
I've been after.
I've been Will.
All right, I'll toss in Will's Tumblr at the description. I don't know about Aftab.
I deliberately don't have one.
Yeah, he does. Well, I don't know where. I'll put something at the bottom for if you want to go and look at what he likes. Anyways, thank you for listening. Join us next week. Maybe we'll have a Metabot show. We probably won't. No Metabots episode. Sorry, Nathan. This is us telling you we're not having a Metabots episode. All right, goodbye.